The Anglo-Isles' primary offensive has been routed. Now, Akira must avert a retaliatory strike by destroying the enemy missile silos positioned at the foot of Big Honshu, the Solar Empire's largest volcano.
Honshu is a Japanese word meaning main island or main province. It is also the name of the largest island in real-world Japan. So, this being Battalion Wars, they're obviously not any subtle at all about what countries their fictional nations are based off of.
Colonel Windsor intends to destroy key targets with these missile silos. We must stop him before it's too late! Activate this helipad in the ruins to receive a recon scout vehicle. Your battalion has landed on the beach. Good luck, Commander!
Well, yes, I am excited to get a recon, but I don't exactly know how that's going to help us blow up a bunch of silos. I mean, won't our tank cannon do it just as well? Actually, I never thought about it that much before, but that is a legitimate question. I guess the tank is too slow to get to them, but then, you know what, never mind. If I get distracted, I'm probably going to get hit by these bazooka veterans. Pretty basic stuff. You have 10 grunts and a light tank. You don't want to lose the tank, otherwise you're probably not going to have a shot against the light tanks that are eventually going to crop up. Actually, there are no vehicles between here and the helipad that we're supposed to activate. This isn't the helipad. This is an optional helipad, but I don't see why you wouldn't activate it. It's sitting right there in your path. And of course, since I didn't have the grunts in follow mode, I'm going to have to wait for them to get here. So, I might as well move forward a little bit. Take these guys out. Well, they're going to run past the light tank because who cares about the light tank? We've got to stop them from activating that helipad that we probably could have activated ourselves. And then I'm going to stop thinking about the logic in this game. We have assault veterans now, and ooh, they kind of slipped up a little on the ramp there, but that's okay. What's not okay is that the cutscene didn't stop me from evading these initial bazooka shots here. That's annoying. But it doesn't matter because there are a couple of jerry cans in the tents here. I'm sure these grunts can handle a couple flame veterans. I mean, 10 grunts against 1 flame veteran is still going to wind up in the grunt's favor there. Yeah. So we're coming up on the helipad here. And I like that there are bazookas behind cover. It makes them much more annoying to destroy. It's always nice to see that the missions are getting just a little bit more challenging as we go. In fact, I'm almost going to foolishly let my light tank get destroyed, but instead I just have to ignore them and go looking for a jerry can. Here we go. And now to get at that helipad, because apparently the first helipad couldn't give us the recon vehicle. It has to be this one. You know, the things these guys do sometimes, it's very strange. So anyways, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but a problem that I have with Battalion Wars 2 is that it recycles a lot of mission ideas and situations from the first game. In this case, it's rushing through a level with your sole recon in order to rescue a prisoner and escape unharmed. Now, I'm a huge fan of this kind of level because I love the recon so much, but does that sound familiar to you at all? Maybe similar to a mission from the first game? And there's a lot of jumps too, that doesn't help it. But hey, as long as I'm allowed to drive my recon and possibly do a 360 spin in midair. Actually, it would have been cool if I had landed on the ammo dump there, but that's okay. You can actually, the unit that just jumped into the recon there is called the Munitions Expert, and yes, ramming into the ammo dump is just as effective as shooting it. But the munitions expert is a unit that you are never allowed to control. It solely exists for the purpose of this level, which is to attach dynamite to the missile silos so that they explode. Yeah. As cool as the explosion is, I still don't really understand why they needed to create an entirely... it's not even... Whatever. Now, you gotta be careful with that jump there, because you might land in the water and take a little damage from having the recon being too low, too deep into the water, but they offer a jerry can right after it, so I guess that's okay. Now here we have to clear out the enemies before we're allowed to set the dynamite onto the missile silo. The recons in this game, there are no heavy recons in this game, just the one recon, which you know, I kind of like, because it was a little silly to have two recons, a light recon and a heavy recon. So now we just have the single recon, which is as mobile as the light recon, but as powerful as the heavy recon, so it's good. Now, we're well past it, but when you free the munitions expert, he will actually walk towards your recon automatically. You can actually leave without him. Well, sort of. You can't really leave that area without him, but you can run around him, like just avoiding him until he just stops moving, and Admiral Akira tells you to, hey, you can't just leave the guy behind, you kind of need him. I just think that's a little silly.
Set those charges! Go, munitions experts!
I just really like that line a lot, you know? It's crazy! So we have to run away from the explosion, not that it's ever going to actually damage us. With all the silos destroyed, it's time to rush straight to the extraction points. Now, these bazooka veterans and grunts here, I do not believe any of them count for your power ranking. I don't think any of the units during the recon segment count for power, which is good because I wouldn't want to waste my time destroying them all. The time limit is not as forgiving as it was in the previous level, but it's still rather forgiving. So with out of the way, it's time to capture an HQ, and we have a battleship assisting us by firing at all the fortifications. Good thing there aren't any artilleries, RPG towers. Well, those are RPG towers right there. But it's a good thing there's nothing that can threaten the battleship as it shells out our defenses for us, right? Right. Now, when you return to controlling the light tank here, it will actually, you will actually have all of the units that you had lost with you again. So if you lost a grunt, you'll get your grunt back. If you lost the light tank, you'll get your tank back. Which is good because now there are actual tanks and MG towers and stuff here, and the battleships supporting fire can only go so far. You cannot directly control the battleship, unfortunately, which would be cool, but it's not really all that necessary. And I'm still pretty sure that, yeah, there's only 2 light tanks here, and they can barely scratch my own light tank because of the whole unit armor thing. And oh no, I lost a couple grunts. Whatever am I going to do? I missed out on another perfect 100. I'm amazed that we have managed to make it through an entire mission with no tutorial, though, which is impressive to say the least, considering the standards of these missions so far.
We have recaptured the HQ! Mission complete!
Attack! Attack! What do you mean there's no one left? Outrageous! You will pay for this, Akira!
You are defeated, Colonel Windsor. Leave this island and never return.
Oh, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? No! 99 technique! I was so close! Just those 2 infantry that I lost.
The Anglo Isles are on the retreat. It is time for Akira to lay siege to their last stronghold and expel them forthwith from the Solar Empire.
And of course, following a mission with a rather interesting name is a mission with a completely generic name. Repel the enemy. Rally the defenses. You can come up with better unit names, mission names than that, especially since this is the first mission where we have a navy. For real this time.
Use this battleship and these frigates to escort General Harmon's naval transports to the shore.
That's right, Admiral. Then you gotta clear out these coastline defenses so I can land my grunts on the beach.
Once Herman's grunts land, you'll need to escort them to this helipad so they can summon Imperial reinforcements.
So, following the recon escape mission, we have an incredibly contrived escort mission. Interesting! Well, let's hope the Frontier can do better this time, or at least better than they did back in Call Sign Eagle. So, we have a battleship here. As you can see, it has a long-range cannon, and that's very nice for taking out fortifications, things of that nature. The other unit in our battalion right now is the frigate, which, unsurprisingly, has an anti-air cannon. Very good for taking out bombers. Now, the thing about the Navy in Battalion Wars 2 is that it actually winds up being rather disappointing. I mean, it's basically artilleries and anti-air vehicles on water when you get right down to it. And this is the problem that I see with Navy in Advanced Wars and Battalion Wars as well. Generally speaking, oh, here's another tutorial on commanding individual units, which you've seen me do already. So the thing with Navy in most war games, I feel, is that it's hard to make them, I don't know, desirable when you have air units that can cover much better ground and accomplish the same thing as Navy units would, or even more. So, you know, it obviously depends on the situation. I'd take fighters for the bombers and things like, I don't know, maybe give us the Solar Empire bomber, or gunships rather. The Solar Empire has gunships in this game. So now it's time to escort a band of Western Frontier grunts to the helipad. Oh no, a light tank! Good thing you guys brought a bazooka veteran with you this time, right? Right? Wrong. Ugh. So now it's up to us to escort them by using the only offensive unit in our entire battalion, the battleship. Come on, you guys. You're not that stupid, Frontier. You saved the world in the previous game. Surely you would think to take a bazooka veteran with you on a mission like this. So yeah, obviously it's a repeat of Call Sign Eagle, except with boats. And before anyone asks, no, you cannot go up that river. I've tried. The water is too shallow. You saw the tank going over it, right? I don't know. I just have this thing about boats going up rivers ever since I played this one Advanced Wars ROM hack that allows boats to go up rivers. And it was awful. Trust me. Oh yeah, the mission. It just, you know, destroy all these MG towers with your battleship and, you know, they'll get past. There's nothing else threatening the Western Frontier grunts. Maybe an Anglo grunt here or there, but no flame veterans or anything like that, which would shut us down completely. I mean, I would probably shoot at it with my battleship, sure. So now you have to take out these anti-air towers because, you know, obviously a T-copter can't land if there's anti-air towers. It'll only be a matter of time before they get here anyhow, so now I just have to sit here and wait for my battleship to do its job of destroying anti-air towers. So, the whole point of this mission, I guess, was to have frontier grunts land on the beach and then activate that helipad. Also, the guy could call in Solar Empire reinforcements anyways. Now, my thought is, would it have made a difference if there were Solar Empire landers trying to get onto the shore? And I'm using the advanced source terminology, but basically the Frontier's appearance in this mission was completely pointless, is what I'm trying to say. Because look, we've got grunts, we've got bazooka veterans in an anti-air vehicle. Why did we need the Western Frontier to call them in like that? And why was the helipad even necessary? I keep trying to inject logic. This is just silly. So there's a tank and 2 MG towers here. And on your way to the airbase, there will be some more MG towers. And where are these? Flame veterans? Oh, that guy dodged! He is clearly more competent than the other members of his nation's army. And now the airbase. This is the first facility that will actually respawn units because it has respawning bombers flying around it, and this is where things... I'm pretty sure the bombers respawn, but the thing is, this will apply to future missions anyways. The thing about respawning units is that you have to, as you are capturing it, you have to be careful because a unit could respawn anytime and start attacking while you're trying to take the flag. So, how quickly you're able to take the flag is going to depend on a little bit of luck here. Of course, I'm silly and decide that I don't need to destroy all of the units before attempting to take the flag. And this turns out to be a very bad move because I lose the light tank. That's going to result into a demotion, I'm sure. But, you know, I still get an S rank. I mean, come on, this is still kind of a tutorial mission. But fortunately, this is the last Solar Empire mission, so hopefully it will be the end of the tutorials for good. That's all of the enemy units destroyed. Now I just have to raise this flag before any bombers respawn. Looks like it's going to.
The air base is ours! Mission complete!
Defeated, eh? But why on earth didn't they use that room with super weapon? Maybe Windsor was wrong after all.
Order demands we wage a war of retribution immediately! Hail the fleet! We sail for the Anglo Isles immediately!
Caution, Admiral. There is more to this conflict than meets the eye.
Vengeance shall not wait, Empress! If I must act alone, then so be it!
Tundra is a nation of conquest, my son. Why do you dishonor my memory with idle talk of peace?
What is it?
Greetings, Marshal Nova. It is I, Admiral Akira of the Solar Empire. We seek an ally in a war of retribution against the Anglo Isles. What say you?
The Supreme Commander of the Tundran Territories knows no fear. Summon my generals!
So, is that a yes or a no, Marshal? Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for my score. I can't wait to see what my score was. Ah, yes, the light tank did it.
Ha! That will teach them to pitch tents on our glorious land!